What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Yours truly, Kendrick McKnight here, back again with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content. Beneath the Surface episode 22? 22 is crazy. Where we are unpacking the unseen one conversation at a time. I have a very similar face to come back on here. This is our first time being on this particular podcast, but she's been on
Mhm.
my previous one. Um, Man, someone that I pretty much grew up with within 4 years of high school, and
Yeah.
man, who I've bumped into twice now
Yeah.
to return to the great state of North Carolina. Um, and man, it's just always been a pleasure to talk to you and see you, and glad you're willing to come on.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Thank you for having me.
I grew up with Ivy Kelly, but she's Ivy Davis. How you doing today?
I'm good. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good. Living life best way
Yeah.
we possibly can. So one day at a time.
Mhm.
That's all we can do.
Absolutely. One foot in front of the other. Just keep walking through the days.
Absolutely. We're 3 months into 2026. How's the year so far for you?
It's good. We're in a new place. Um, I get my nieces from school every day so that I don't stay in the house all day every day. And
Yeah,
their school is, I can literally see it out the window. So that's nice being close to everyone. But other than that, the year has been, I feel like, the same that it's been for everyone. Just what's going to come next, what's going to happen next, trying to take all the good, as much good as we can throughout the bad that's happening.
yeah. A lot of that going on in the world, but
Yeah.
we try to find the good in some way, some fashion. But
Yeah.
you know, I think this year for me has been interesting, to say the
Mm.
least, because we were talking before we got on. We're like, it's my first time being on my own.
Yeah.
Um, Being the head honcho of a household is an interesting title, but trying to figure out and maintain a life outside of like paying bills and fixing this and fixing that and still wanting to go out and do this and do that, and
Yeah.
also not forgetting the element of taking care of your family, doing this for your mom, doing this for your brothers. So it's like real
Yeah.
adult nowadays, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always one thing after the next.
Yeah, just when you think you're all in the clear, and then something just
Mm.
bites you. But
Absolutely.
it's life. We deal with it. Like you
Hmm.
said, we look forward,
Yeah.
and sometimes you get pushed back 5 steps, but figure out a way to.
I like to say that life takes a bag of bricks and just chucks it at you and says, "See what breaks, see what happens," and then
Pretty,
you have to put the damage back together.
yeah, pretty much, absolutely. Um, Today's topic is an interesting one for me personally. Something that I kind of need to have, and I feel
Okay.
like you're a perfect person to talk to about this.
Okay.
Um, you've always been a very introspective person,
Mm.
uh, meaning that like you always know what to say,
Oh.
and you know in moments where it's needed, with the advice, the perspective of trying to find a positive in something.
Yeah.
Uh, but like mental health is like a big major thing nowadays, right? You
Absolutely.
never know what is going on in someone's head
Hmm.
or life. You know what I mean? When you think of those two words, what does that mean to you? Mental health. Was that ever a thing for you, like growing up?
Oh, absolutely. I have a tattoo on my leg, and it's the day that I attempted to take my life back in high school. I don't think a lot of people knew that I was going through that because it was so stigmatized, and like you didn't talk about it. you were supposed to suffer alone in silence. Like emotions are a very taboo thing. Um, so mental health to me, it always has to be like a priority. Like you have to not continue putting yourself behind the lines. Like everything else, you like I have a really bad habit of just everything else is going to come first until I get to my breaking point, and I don't prioritize myself. And so I think it just, I don't necessarily know exactly what it means to me. I just know what it does, you know? I actually don't think I've ever taken the time to think of like what exactly it means to me, just the effects of it and how we handle it, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things of, you know what it is,
Hmm.
but you have a hard time defining it and what it
Hmm.
means to yourself. Um,
Because it can encompass so much.
yeah,
Like it is such a large environment to have to navigate. And so I don't think there really is just one way to fully define and experience mental health.
yeah. Such a interesting concept, but
Hmm.
I think for me, it's one of those things of these battles that you battle amongst yourself quietly and
Hmm.
silently, and try to figure out like what to do about it.
Yeah.
Um, and feeling like, oh, this person may not understand. Oh, this person may not get it. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. It's like a concept that I've tried my best to wrap my head around, but at the end of the day, like no one understands this more than myself. I
Right.
can talk to people all day long, but like I'm the one that makes the actions. I'm the one that's willing to put in the work to make this better or try to fix, my heart in a sense of like thinking better, feeling better, and
Hmm.
trying to get the mental right, the physical, the spiritual. Um, and in your personal opinion, why do you think, certain people, battle these things silently and try not to internally explode in a sense?
Well, I mean, I know I can't really speak for everyone because, like I said, it's a very large environment to navigate. There are a lot of reasons. I know, like for me, I never wanted to feel like a burden. I felt like my pain was an imposition on others, and I didn't want others to feel the pain that I was feeling. I didn't want them to see it because I was scared of how they would perceive that pain, that no one would actually really be there for me when I needed it. Um, but like you said, like people maybe you're thinking other people like won't understand, and in a large capacity, no, like they won't be in there in your mind with you, hearing the thoughts, living that with you. But I have found that there are more people who understand even the slightest sliver of what I experience, and they are all sort of in the same bandwagon of like not wanting to be a burden, not wanting to be seen in pain, because previous generations that have brought us up, it's like that doesn't exist. You know, you're not supposed to be sad. Why are you crying? There's so much that you have to be happy for, you know? And like also, partially a small part of it, like being raised in the church. I felt that if I was sad and depressed, then that meant like I wasn't being a good Christian. I wasn't, you know, devout to God. Like God has given me all of this stuff. Like, why would He make me be sad? Why I am throwing out all the blessings for the sadness, which isn't the case at all. But I think that also like, and it was embarrassment as well as wanting to not be a burden. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment.
Yeah. So like you mentioned earlier, you're tattooed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your uh, possible, suicide attempt, right? And
Yeah.
for me, I don't think did I mention that to you? That I wanted to go out too?
I don't think you ever did. No.
Oh, yeah. So obviously for me, my attempt, stems from my dad's passing.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely one of those kids that didn't really appreciate what was right in front of me.
Yeah.
So, grew up as a mama's boy, still am to this day. Uh, I mean, I appreciated dad. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't, due to the fact that I didn't live with him on a
Mm-hmm.
consistent basis. Like I didn't really appreciate his efforts, appreciate what
Right.
he. It was obviously one of those things of staying with him during the summer or during like fall breaks or Christmas breaks or anything like that. But yeah, like when he was going through what he was going through, like I was still kind of like um, blind of the fact that nothing can happen to him. Like he's my Superman. And
Right.
like, he'll be in the hospital for a couple of days and he'll come back. But then those couple of days turn into weeks.
Yeah.
And then once I realized what was really going on, as a 16-year-old kid, then it's like, oh, like there's a chance that he might not make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I broke down. I remember like broke down one time, and everybody was surrounding me and stuff like that, and um, so the entire month of December of 2013, like he was in hospital, literally from the first day to the last day, so up to New
Mm-hmm.
Year. So for me, the end of the year is like the worst time for me.
Right.
Everybody's celebrating Christmas and New Year's and all those things. Forever now, for me, like I just celebrate his life
Yeah.
and all that. But yeah, I definitely had a moment. I did want to, check out. Um, Pretty much immediately after his funeral. But
Mm.
what saved me at that time was like my mom telling me that she was pregnant. Um, I was like, oh, okay. Like I've always wanted a sister on my mom's side. Like
Yeah.
I have one on my dad's side, but I've always wanted one on my mom's. So
Right.
hey, like maybe this is God's way of, I guess, taking one person away from me, but giving me another one. And
Right.
it's what I've always wanted. Uh, so time goes by, it's time for the gender reveal, and I'm decked out in pink. Like I just know I'm getting that sister
Mm-hmm.
old fashioned way, cut the cake, whatever color inside,
Right.
kind of thing. It was blue inside, and I exploded. Like I left that. We went to this Mexican restaurant. I can't remember the name, but uh, had this little area that we was in. I stormed out of there, went to the bathroom, and just had like a hard look at myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, Like tonight's the night. Like I'm out of here. So like I'm having a conversation with God at this point. Like, okay, cool. Like you take my dad away from me.
Mhm.
And now you're giving me a brother that I didn't ask for. Cool. And at this point I was a junior in
Yeah.
school, and it's like I'm good. You know what I mean? So like I had this entire plan on our way back to the house. Um, like okay, like how do I do this? Like, do I do it old fashioned way? You know, put my wrist or anything like that.
Mhm.
Uh, um, so just to give you a picture, like okay, so like the house that we was in at the time, when you go into the front door, you're already in the living room, right?
Mhm.
Go to the right, there's a little miniature hallway. First room on the left is my room. Next one on the left is my brother's. Then straight forward is the bathroom. That's the
Mhm.
entire right side.
Okay.
To the left, you're in the living room, kitchen, mom's room.
Mhm.
Okay. So in order to get to the kitchen, I have to be a little bit quiet, right? To get to wherever I needed. So I waited till everyone was asleep, my mom and my brother, and I tried my best to tiptoe to the kitchen and get the biggest knife I can find. Because I wasn't gonna announce it, I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, just find me here. You
You
know what I
weren't
mean?
even gonna leave a note or anything?
No,
Oh man.
yeah. I was gonna let them guess why I did what I did.
Mhm.
Um, but as I am walking, I feel this presence around myself that I never felt before, and I just felt that this pull, right, just going away from the kitchen. But as I continue to push and push and push, go through, it felt more heavy. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, I just heard his voice um, say to me, uh, "Give this boy a chance." Right? Um, just me being in that mode, I just shrug it off. Like I'm good. Like I don't want no brother. Like I want a sister.
Mhm.
Uh, but again, the more I went, the more the force was, and then the tone of this voice just like a little thicker.
Mhm.
And no, give this boy a chance. So I had a moment. Like, okay, turned around, went to bed, and didn't really think too much of it. And of course, I didn't discuss that with anybody.
Right.
Um, times goes more by. September 24th, 2014. It's actually a school day. So our senior year at this point,
Mhm.
and it's raining outside. My mother wakes us up, water breaks, and at this time I have my permit, so I'm scared. You know what I'm saying? Like it's raining outside. My mom's water.
Yeah.
It's like 6, 7 in the morning, and I'm scared. Like I might hydroplane. You know what I mean?
Right.
Trying
Right.
to get this woman to safety. So we, thankfully get to the hospital and all that. My mom's best friend at the time gets there. She helps my mom go to where she needs to be. Me and my brother are in the waiting room, and like I said, it's 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Like I'm
Right.
dead at this point. So like I fell asleep. Time goes by. My brother wakes me up, and he points at the door. My mom's best friend at the time is at the window and tells us, like, "Come on, come on, come on." And we go out. There's the nurse with my brother. So to
Wow.
give you another visual, so from my left to my right, it's mom's best friend, nurse, brother. There's no one
Mhm.
behind. So the nurse gives me my brother. Your head is this way. right? So I'm looking down
Mm.
as I am looking at this kid. I feel the same presence again on my left side, as if this thing's looking at my brother with me, and in a much more softer tone than the previous time. The voice said, "This is your new purpose now. Like I need you to be here. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
this kid needs his older brother." And 12 years removed, I have yet to seriously think about doing that to myself again. But I mean, I have moments,
Yeah.
you know, like any negative emotion, any negative feeling I have, um, it's kind of like one of those cartoons where like you have the angel and the devil on your side, and
Mm.
it's kind of making sense. Like, oh well, if you would have just did what you did, you won't be feeling this way. You won't be feeling this hurt. You won't be feeling this heartbreak. But it's always something that keeps me going.
Yeah.
But for a long time, yeah, like my brother was the sole reason why I was still here. Um,
I
he
get that.
saved me from, a lot.
Yeah.
Uh, but as time went on, I mean, I realized that I can't just live for one person. I have to live for the person that I see in the mirror. So it took me
Mm.
a long time to find my own purpose,
Yeah.
and you know, I'm proud of my own growth and my journey. But um, yeah, I don't regret that because it got me to where I am today. But
Absolutely.
that's my share.
I I am number one. You made me tear up over here. Like I you have always been one of like or at least I know time has sort of taken us apart, but during that period you were one of my very best friends and I didn't know that. And so God, I'm gonna freaking cry again. I am very proud of you. I am very glad that you did not listen to what you wanted to do and that you listened to the voice telling you to give your brother a chance. Um, because, yeah, I think you have a really great light and the world would be really dim without you. Um, I, my attempt was 2013 as well, but it was like the week before we got out of school, sophomore year. And it feels stupid to say now that it was over a boy, but it was much more than that. He had truly, genuinely stomped my confidence down to a point where I really believed that no one and nothing could love me. And there was no place for me. And I was like, I don't want to be here because what is it? Why am I gonna be here if no one loves me? Well, like what is the purpose? Like it was that whole standard. Everyone's life would be, just go ahead and be better if I wasn't here. And I remember, I don't know where we went, but my brother wanted to go swimming after we got home. And they were like, well, if your sister goes, then you can, because he was still really young at the time and couldn't really be on his own. And I was like, this is it. I'm just gonna do it here. I'm gonna go under, and I'm never gonna come back up. I'm going to allow myself to drown. Because I was scared even though I have a history of cutting and self harm, the idea of doing it that much was scary. And for some reason, the idea of drowning wasn't. And I went under the water, and as everything started to sort of get a little fuzzy, just very similar to you, there was that voice that said, "Don't do this." And all I could see and all I could think of after that was my brother is actively in the pool. He's going to watch me die. And I couldn't do that. And if he hadn't have been there, I would have done it. Had he not been, and clearly, like, I mean, he wasn't watching me. He wasn't. He was doing his own thing. He was playing. He had no idea what I was going through, what I was doing. Um, but just the idea that he was there and would be the one to watch my body float up, it stopped me. And yeah, like, it's something like suicidal thoughts and the ideation of self-harm is something that I still have to live with every day. It wasn't something that stopped then, because like I said, it was so ingrained in me that I didn't matter, that I still, here I am all these years later, I still am struggling with that. I have a fantastic husband and a kid who I adore, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that everyone who I love loves me in return. And yet there is still that little bit that's like, no, they don't. No, they don't. You don't need to be here. It's okay. Um, but when my brother got married this past June, and I got to tell him we had a special moment, a dance together, and I got to thank him for being there and like him choosing to be in the pool that day because that saved my life. Um, and so yeah, that's mine. And there have been many nights where I had plans drawn out since. The night that I met my husband actually was one of them, and he sort of came in and derailed all that. But um, yeah, that was the only time that I actually like went to follow through with it. Man, I wish I had known you had chosen such a heavy topic.
Yeah,
Oh God.
yeah. Shout out to our brothers being our,
Yeah.
safe ones, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I have yet got to that point to tell him that story. He's
Mm.
pretty he's only 11. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, that's a deep thing to
yeah,
tell a
yeah,
kid. Yeah.
yeah. I told
Yeah.
myself I'll wait till like I don't know, teenage years,
Yeah.
going into young adult years. But
Yeah.
uh, honestly, that's like one of my worst fears is drowning.
Really.
I never really thought about that.
Hmm.
I at that time, like I was thinking like I wanted to be quick,
Right.
so let me just get it over with, and yeah.
Yeah.
But
I have no idea why the idea of slitting my wrist was more terrifying to me than, like, I know I have a fear of pain, but and I feel like the air coming out of my, like, not being able to breathe would be more painful, but there was something about the thought that I was just like, it just felt more peaceful. And I know it wouldn't have been. I know it wouldn't have been, especially now. Like, in hindsight, I am an adult now. I know what happens when someone drowns. Um, but just in the moment, as a grieving teenager, that was it.
Yeah. Are you at the same mindset as me where it's like, for me, it was my experience came from a loss. So
Mm,
I I said once upon a time that, the first 16 of my year, first team, first 16 years of my life does not matter. It's like now I have like this rebirth in a sense. I have a new
mm,
perspective, and all of these traumas are coming at me, whereas I didn't feel any of that previously. Like I was just a
mm,
kid, just here. Um, but it's because of those traumatic things and because of these negative things that kind of shaped me to who I am today. So I don't
mm,
really count. Well, I count it, but like I don't really think fond of those times in my life until Dad's passing. Um, was that similar to you, or do you still value your life previously before the attempt?
I still value my life before, um, not necessarily immediately surrounding my attempt. Um, and I don't. And I guess let me backtrack. A lot of things have happened in the last couple years since returning to North Carolina. Have happened that has made me reevaluate how I view my past self. So maybe had you asked me 3 years ago before my son was born, I probably wouldn't have valued that part of my life very highly. I was a dumb kid. I did dumb things and I made a lot of mistakes. And now that I'm an adult and the hindsight's always 2020, you know? Like I feel like everything that happened to me leading up to my attempt also shaped who I am. Like I had, and I am not going to get into it just because it's hard for me to. I'm working through it in therapy. But like
Yeah.
I was sexually assaulted 3 times by 3 different people my 6th grade year. That sucked. And there were just a lot of things that were traumatic for me as a kid. That like I can't not value because that also taught me a lot. Like, yeah, it sucked what happened to me. But it also taught me the strength in protecting myself now. Like I have finally been able to stand up and say, no, like
Yeah.
this is not okay. And I was able to further protect, like I'm able to further protect myself and my kid. And so yeah, I guess like maybe before like before a couple years, like before my son was born, I wouldn't have valued it. I was just kind of stuck in a limbo. But now I do. Yeah. If any
Yeah.
of that makes sense. I feel like I'm rambling.
You're good for sure. Therapy has helped me as well.
Mm,
I'm not in it now, but at the time that I was during that time frame, like it definitely allowed me to get a lot off.
mm,
Because like I didn't talk to anyone. Like that was my way of coping with my dad's passing. Like I didn't really talk to anybody. Kept my head down and
yeah.
was not talking about my emotions or talking about my feelings about anything.
Yeah.
And just
I do remember there being a change in you between
yeah,
yeah, like I didn't know exactly like why or what, but I do remember there being a change. Yeah.
yeah. So I just live life with like an imaginary mask and just like
Mm.
built myself an invisible wall, refusing to allow anyone in fear of feeling that same hurt again
Yeah.
by other people. So it's still something that I struggle with to this day. As far as like getting close to people,
Yeah.
feeling like at any given moment this person is going to do something to me. Uh,
Right.
but regardless of what happened between her and I, like one of the biggest lessons that I've learned from an ex is that she told me that not everyone in the world is here to get you or hurt
Mm.
you. Um, that resonated. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I really needed to hear that. Um, it's still something that I battle with, of course, but having the understanding that everyone doesn't want to see you fail, like everyone doesn't want to see you in this dim light.
Mm.
Um, or at least some people want to actually see you shine and be in your lane and be in your purpose.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. Like it's hard to you know try to look at things positively when so much negativity has happened to you.
Hmm.
Like, so comfortable with that, so used to it. But I'm getting better. It's a journey. Life is a journey.
Yes, it is.
Um, so like for you, how has your trauma kind of like make you see the world now?
Very, very similar to like everyone's sort of just always out to get you type of
Yeah,
thing. Um, and I also have learned in therapy because I started back in this past December after a medical scare that I had. I ended up having 40 panic attacks in one day. Would wake up and like it was like 2:30 in the morning and I'd have a panic attack. I would be able to calm down enough to like get maybe 10 minutes of sleep, would wake up again, panic, and it would be like that for a full 24 hours. Um, Come to find out, I have OCD. And so it is very difficult to get out of the cycles that I have taught myself to have. Um, like I have had this fear that anything that if I did anything that my own parents would leave me. Like if I stepped out of line at all. You should see the amount of times that I text my mom for help because I'm like, I don't want to make my dad mad. I don't want to do something wrong. And I know that it's irrational. Um, and it's not, and so it's just like, I don't know when it all started. Um, but like just that fear of like, something's going to happen and I'm going to lose people because something like because of the decision that I made, whether it was a good decision or a bad decision, doesn't matter. Like I have made some really hard decisions in the last couple months that I know are for the betterment of me, and I still find myself sobbing because I'm like these people that I have chosen to separate myself from. Um, it felt like they were sometimes not like not out to get me, but just things weren't aligning, things weren't good, and
yeah,
that's what I'm seeing. That's the thing that I struggle with everybody is like not necessarily that you're out to get me, but that when things don't align, I start to have panic, and I think it stems from the previous trauma and stuff because like I said, the sexually assaulted 3 times in 1 year by 3 different people, and these were people that I was well one of them was someone I was really supposed to trust, and the other ones were friends that I trusted. And So now all of a sudden, anyone and everyone, it's on the table. They can hurt me in any possible way. And if I choose to react, or if I choose to do anything else, then everyone else is going to leave too. And that's irrational, but I'm learning. I'm working through that because it does feel like everyone is sort of, and anyone and everyone can hurt you, and there's a motive behind it sometimes. So
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do for you. So, I mean, that's commendable, respectable.
thanks.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think I've ever spoke about this publicly or told anybody this. So I've had, as far as I can remember, I have like 3 moments that I can remember specifically where like I wake up in the middle of the night and just like gasping for air. I don't know if it's a panic attack or I'm choking or anything like that. Like I literally wake up and like I'm gasping for that little bit of air.
Mm.
It's like I'm coughing, but like I am like struggling to catch that breath.
Mm.
Um, I don't know where that comes from.
Well, there is an actual like medical thing that happens, and I only know this because it happens to Scott. But if he, depending on how he's sleeping, his heart will literally stop. I can't remember the name of it,
mm,
but like if he, like specifically when he lays on his back, he can't sleep on his back because his heart will stop. So
mm.
like depending on the context of what happens after, or if you can ever remember anything that happens like in your sleep before, I know that sounds weird, but like dreams and stuff like that, I would talk to a doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
Uh, I don't know. It's been a while since this happened.
well,
Since
that's
I've been
good.
here, it happened once. No,
Mm.
but December, January, something like that.
Mm.
Uh, it's been a while, but it's very scary.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I'm sure.
and I just like sweat profusely afterwards. But um, yeah, it's a very interesting thing, I guess you can
And
say.
even if it doesn't start as a panic attack, I'm sure it probably ends slightly in one, because like you said, that's scary thing to experience. So
Yeah.
yeah,
This is, huh?
I said, oh, I just said yeah.
Yeah. I know this is a crazy question since we're like on the topic, but
Okay.
um, is there like an ideal way that you do want to like exit this world, or don't really think about that?
Um, I have I have quite literally always said since I was a kid, I think about this constantly. Death is a concept that is always on my mind, and not even just in like doing it myself, but just in general, like death. Period.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would pass in my sleep, no pain, no anything, because like I mentioned earlier, I have a fear of pain, not or especially pain that I've never experienced.
Yeah.
The not knowing of how something is going to feel is very terrifying. So like my brain will constantly create scenarios anywhere that I go, anywhere that I do, or anything that I do. Like I can, like today we were at Walmart, and every time I walk through Walmart, I'm like, okay, someone could stab me, someone could shoot me. Like, there's all this stuff that could happen, and the idea of going out that way makes me panic, and it always has. Like I'm always trying to calculate every bad thing that could happen when I'm out and about, or even when I'm here. Because like I will imagine like I'm cooking dinner and boom, I've dropped a knife on my foot, and like it's just crazy scenarios. And it is constant and it is exhausting. So ideally there would be no pain, and will be asleep, and I'll be old and having seen life and watched kids grow and, you know, have a full life. But whenever it happens, I want it I want it to be painless.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, like I'm all game to talk about death. Like it's part of life.
It
I mean,
is.
not have that conversation.
Mhm.
So it's super rare to find someone that actually likes to talk about that.
Yeah.
Ideally, I would like to go out the same way my dad and my grandma did. Just
Mm.
in a facility on their deathbed and surrounded by family.
Okay. Yeah.
Having those lasting moments, you may not be able to talk, but like you can see, like, hey, like,
Yeah.
hopefully,
Yeah, being surrounded by family is a big thing.
yeah,
Because the idea of a loved one just finding you, that
mm,
I don't want that. Like, if everyone is prepared and expecting it and there, then that, yeah, I'm with you there.
yeah. You know, prayerfully, my mom's still here. To see me go. My brothers.
Yeah.
I will hope by that time I have kids. Seeing them grow. Wife there. Um, and hopefully by that time, nieces and nephews.
Mhm.
For my younger brothers, anyway. Um, yeah, I would like to. I would like to do that. Um, you talk about drowning earlier, like that's. I feel like that's the worst way.
Yeah, now as an adult, I agree.
Yeah,
Because yeah, like I said, I was a stupid kid. I was just like, here's water, let's fucking do it. Um,
yeah,
but no, yeah. As an adult, I agree because now I've seen, like, you'll see like like beach rescue videos randomly pop up on TikTok sometimes, and like, and they'll teach you about what's happening. And now I'm like, oh, I can't believe that's how I wanted to go out. But yeah, no,
definitely. I'm sorry.
I just said no, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I mean, in your opinion, though, like, what are some? We talked about therapy, but like, what are some steps to better the mental, the spiritual, and of course physical as well? What are some ways that you've kind of like put it out there that you want to do better?
I'm still working on that. I'm still learning that. Because it wasn't really until these past couple months being in therapy that I realized that, like, everything that I was doing to try and make myself feel better are compulsions. Validation seeking, constantly asking, if things are okay, and trying to over explain and overshare my side of things. Um, Turns out they're all compulsions for the obsessions that I live with. Um, so I don't really, some people, like, if you have a non OCD brain, that's great. I think that is a fantastic thing. Make sure that you are communicating with
Yeah,
your people, and if you need the validation, seek it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I'm learning that the amount that I do it, and the fact that it doesn't make me feel better afterwards, that I still continue to obsess and have anxiety over the things that I'm seeking validation on, it's not working for me, and never really has. Like, this is quite literally, mental health is something that I still, like, struggle really, really, really hard with. Um, and it took me almost 29 years to learn that what I was doing was actually a little bit worse for my mental health. But right now, it's what I'm learning is that I have to be okay with uncertainty. Um, my therapist loves to use the term maybe, maybe not. Like maybe everything's going to be okay. Maybe it won't. You have no control over that. And that is the key, is if you can learn to let go of the control, then I think everything is going to work out. Everything, you'll be able to live a much happier life because you can't control everything. You didn't create the world. So why would you be able to control it? You know? Um and so yeah, that that's my biggest thing. Learn to let go of control and just it sounds literally stupid to say and just be okay with how things turn out, but I don't have any other way to explain it. Like you just, like I said, I'm still trying to figure out what that means entirely. But like it's okay to cry in front of people. Like I had one of my most recent sessions with my therapist. We were talking about grief and the possibility of grief happening. Um, and I was like, if this happens and I don't get to grieve, I still have to come home, be a mom, be a wife, have to make sure that tummies are fed and clothes are done and, delve out fruit snacks every 30 freaking minutes. I have a Velcro child who wants to be up in my face all the time. I'm genuinely surprised he hasn't come running through this door asking what I'm doing. Um, and I don't get to grieve. There is no time for that. And she was like, no, like, that's a valid thought, but that's how you teach your kid emotions. We were taught, don't show them behind closed doors, don't talk about them. And so I guess that's another thing, is learn to live those emotions loudly, be unapologetic for those emotions, um, even if you feel like you're a burden, because you are teaching others, the next generation, and even the generation before us, because they say old dogs can't learn new tricks, but that's false. They can. And so we have to learn to let go of control and let things be how they're going to be, and learn how to live with our emotions loudly so that we don't have to grieve like alone. Teach others that it's okay to like experience negative in moments of positive as well, you know?
Yeah, I need her number, honestly. Those are two things that I struggle with.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a perfectionist at heart, so I like to do literally everything
Mhm.
perfectly and just be great at it. And I feel like I messed up in any capacity. There's the validation, like I messed up. I am the worst. I am the
Mhm.
worst son, worst brother in the world, or worst partner.
Yeah.
Uh, just wanting and needing that, uh, yeah, validation of being the best, being
Mhm.
great. And like I said earlier, with my dad, like I didn't show emotion. I didn't show any type of inner feelings. I didn't let any of those out. So like I've conditioned myself on not being emotional uh,
Mhm.
in front of people anyway, and just taking everything on the chin and making it seem like I'm a robot amongst people. Um, in a lot of people's words, being an a-hole and just not showing any softness, I guess you can say.
And
What's up?
I think that you have the added disadvantage of being a man, and like especially like in this conversation of mental health, like it's one thing to be a woman because we're expected to be hysterical, you know? Like yes, you're still expected to do it silently, but moments of hysteria are expected. You know, hormones and PMSing like causes all the, you know, all the things. So when a woman goes through something, it's like, uh, it's just her time of the month. It, you know, it is what it is. But like a man, they don't have that, you know, and so like it's the same with Scott. Like I see a lot of the same, like everything that you just listed. It's same with him. Like I still, we've been married 8 years in May, together 9 years in April, and I've seen him cry 3 times total in our entire relationship. And I know that it's because like there is that stigma of you're the man, you've got to be tough, like macho, macho. You can't have emotions that aren't either happy or anger. And I hate that very much because emotions are real for everybody, regardless of your gender, regardless of your background. Like it's real and it sucks. Like the things that we have to go through and experience and what we're told, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And then it's already, hard enough to open up. And then, you may have someone close to you or just somebody in your life, kind of call you out on it as far as like, oh, you're sensitive or you're this or that. That makes me, for me personally, go even more deeper into my shell. If I can't trust you, then how can I
Yeah.
open up? How can I be what a woman needs me to be in those instances? Like for example, I had a best friend from like she was in my life for a long time. This is like before my dad passed away.
Mm.
Um, I'm gonna be honest, like I had to recently cut her off because it was like a abundance of things.
Mm.
Um, but like the major one for me was that, you know, like I went to her for quite a few things. You know, women that I used to talk to, how they did me, uh, all these other things, and showing emotion, right? Um, and like she just had like this rant, I guess you can say, to me that I'm this and I'm that, and I'm sensitive and all these things, and I'm just like, first of all, like the way she presented it, it came across like, okay, you've been feeling this way for a while,
Mm.
and not saying anything to me. And that's one thing about me that I don't like. If you feel a certain way, like I would like for you to tell me, like upfront. Don't hide it from me, and so we can
Yeah.
have a conversation. So that way, if I'm making you feel a way, and now I know how to pull back. Um, there he is.
I was about to say, did you hear that?
There he is. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, like, and then I hate that word, right? Sensitive.
Yeah.
Uh, it's already, like you said, like a stigma against us men to like be a certain way, but like, who do we go to when we're in our heads or in our feelings? So we're just like
Hmm.
follow up, or do we talk to somebody or something like that? But when we attempt to do these things, we get called certain names or get looked at upon in a
Yeah.
negative way. So it's like, okay, that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I go my way, you go yours. But I definitely feel what you're saying. It's definitely, relatable. And I'm doing my best, trying to open up, but it has not been easy. So,
Mhm. And like I and nothing against, because I'm sure that my mom is probably going to watch this, but like there are times when I will get emotional and it'll be in front of my mom or in front of my grandma, and I'll be like, I'm about to cry, and they'll be like, no, don't cry, don't cry. And it's like, but I have to. It's the only way that I'm going to be able to release what I'm feeling, because if I don't cry, my body is going to tense up and I'm going to become shaky, and it's not no longer going to be sadness. It's going to be anxiety, and it's just going to continue to grow. I feel like once I cry, and if it's a good cry, then it kind of is, it gets out. And so even then, like, we have people who, and like they all know what I've been through, and I know that they've been through their own really intense stuff. And like I just it shows that not everyone, like, they know how to handle their own stuff, but they don't necessarily know how to handle everyone else's. You know, like, no matter how much you relate to a situation or to a feeling.
mhm.
Um, and I know that my mom typically will tell me not to cry because I get to a point where, like, you can't understand a single word that I'm saying. And so she's like, I need you to stop crying because I can't understand you. Like, I can't talk to you yet. But then there are times where she's just like, don't cry. You don't have to cry. It's okay. It's like, no, I have to cry. And crying is okay. Like, that's even more so, like, showing emotion and like being sad. We're told we can't be sad, but even more so, we're told we can't cry. Like, tears make people uncomfortable, you know? And I guess that's where, like, the root of not wanting to feel like a burden and feeling like you're an embarrassment if you show the emotions, like, stems from that. Because, like, I mean, yeah, I am depressed majority of the time, and yet when people cry, I still get a little uncomfortable because it's like I don't know how to best be there for you yet. Once I have sort of worked it out, I'm like, okay, now we're good. But like that first initial moment of tears, it's like you get uncomfortable. And that's what we need to learn, is how to not be uncomfortable with people when they cry, so that everyone feels more comfortable crying.
Yeah,
Because there's nothing better than a good cry.
yeah, for sure. Journaling helps you?
Do I?
Journaling, does that help you?
Um, yes and no. So I am the type of person that if I make a mistake when I'm writing, I've ruined the notebook and I have to throw the notebook out and I have to completely restart. I was like that with school notebooks. I'm like that with personal journals. I'm like that with planners. If I make the slightest little mistake, I have to throw out the thing and completely restart. So journaling can be a little difficult for me. I do find that times it can be stressful, but right now, like, I actually am. My therapist gave me a journal that we are working through my birth trauma with Elijah, um, because it was traumatic. I could have died, and had I gone home like I wanted to, instead of going to the hospital the night that they admitted me to have him, probably would have died. And so, like, right now, she's having me write down the facts, no feelings involved, but like from the moment that I was admitted to the moment that I had him and our week in the NICU with him, write down all the facts so that I can process that. And then we will start going through and I will write it all down again with how I was feeling in the moment. And I do think that has helped. Um, it it was hard to do. Like we haven't even gotten to the point where I'm like in the feelings yet, because I was able to write down all the facts up until the actual day that I had him. Because I was admitted on a Friday, and they wanted me to get to exactly 36 weeks. And then they were going to either induce me or have a C-section, because he was breech and I didn't have enough fluid for them to turn him. And so it was most definitely going to be a C-section. And I have been able to write everything down up until the morning that right before they were going to take me to have the C-section, because that was where the bulk of my trauma started. And like I wrote down, because I had this impending doom feeling the whole time that I was pregnant with him, that like me or him, one of us was not going to make it to meet the other. And the night before I had him, it was so intense that I couldn't sleep. I woke Scott up and he had to go get a nurse, and the nurse sat with me and talked me through everything that was potentially going to happen, everything that she knew. And then she got me anti-anxiety medication. And I remember being able to sleep after that. But I was not able, like, writing that down, even without the feeling that I was experiencing in that moment, I was sobbing. So journaling, I'm finding, does help, but I can't do it the way that like normal people journal, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, journaling has helped. Writing down my thoughts, writing down how I'm feeling, and seeing it firsthand. Like what goes on in here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been helpful. Um, it doesn't take away the hurt or any kind of pain that I'm feeling at the time, but it does relaxes me in a sense of like oh, okay, I'm not that crazy as I thought. Like, it's just you know what I mean. Like I have moments where I think of things and I just write it down, or
It helps
um,
you process.
helps me process, and also like dare I say I'm a very creative person, so like I have thoughts of you know like have I ever shared my dream list with you?
I feel like you possibly have, but maybe not.
Okay. Um, quite a few things that's on my list. Obviously, graduating college, which I did. Moving on my own, which I did. I have. Starting my podcast, which I have.
Yeah.
You are on. Um, but the goals that I am still reaching for is, believe it or not, I want to act. Can you see that happening?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
I think you have shared some of the list with me in the past, but like if it grows, as it grows, I don't think you've shared any of like the newer stuff.
More stuff.
Because
Yeah.
I don't think acting was on it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, well, like with journaling, it has helped me, write down like scripts or like, oh, this movie idea that I have, or
I
uh,
should get you up with my brother.
oh, really?
He directs. That's what he like went to school for.
Oh, well, that's beautiful. Thank you.
We can make that dream come true.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, I mean, of course, I'm the star.
Of
That's the
course.
only thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Um, a goal that I have for myself this year that I've always said I wanted to do is do a TED Talk.
Okay.
And my audience would be for like I want to express talking about my trauma and like what I
Yeah.
went through, my dad's passing,
Yeah.
and like how can you bounce back? Like how can you keep going when someone in your life passes away when you're real young, you know,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you're single digits or like 16 when you're a preteen or teenager like myself, or like how did you move past that?
Yeah.
I'll share my experiences, and there's certain stories about my dad like I purposely have not told anyone so I can share it on that stage.
Wow.
Like I have an entire way that I want to end it and everything, so set up cool. But yeah, I've been a man of my word. I haven't told anybody, and um,
That's really cool.
I'm gonna do that. Even with acting, like I want to write. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, I think like I said, I feel like I'm a creative person. So
I would agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that journaling has helped. You know, making me feel comfortable with writing these things down and like um, not making it seem like I'm too crazy to dream big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, it has helped. But like I said, it doesn't take away the
Yeah.
trauma, anything like that. So he drinks it.
I jinxed it.
He's here now.
Scott was there right behind him to close the door, so you might hear him start crashing out in a minute. But
And um, but yeah, that's the goal. Those are the goals.
yeah, I
And
think the last time that we talked on the podcast, it was they're wanting to make it to New York. I think
mm,
it was a traveling
yeah.
thing. Were you ever able to make it? Like, because your goal was to do it like that year.
So our conversation was last year, right? 2025.
No, it was like 2024. He was still an infant. It's been a minute.
Yeah, that's right. Because I had hair at that point. So yes, I did go to New York. Um,
Good.
so a partner that I had at the time. Um, so during our talking stage, she told me about this story that she went to New York with a friend of hers. There's this bus station that does like these holiday like tours for people to get the opportunity to visit New York.
Mm,
And of course, like if I'm talking to you, like I express my goals with you and all that.
yeah.
So I told her I've always wanted to visit there, and she told me about the tour. She told me about the bus, how it works, and all that. And so I was like, hell yeah, let's do that. And then as time went on, of course, we're getting to know more of each other. At that time, we're already official. I was like, come with me. How about that?
Mm,
That would be a great thing for us to do, right? It was your idea. So um, we went out there. It was a cool experience. Could have been a lot better. I feel like that was like the downward spiral of us, but like
yeah.
overall, for me personally, the experience was amazing. Uh,
Good.
but yeah, I went out there. I
I
love.
have been wondering about that, like, because I remember you saying that was your goal and you really wanted to get there.
Yeah,
So, and I've been the last two times we've bumped into each other at Walmart, I've wanted to ask, but I forget because I'm like, oh my God, you're there. You're in front of me. Let me
yeah,
hug your neck.
yeah,
Um, so I'm glad that you made it. And, I'm glad that it was overall a good experience for you.
yeah, for sure. The goal, the ultimate goal, is still to be there when the ball drops.
Right.
But I'm still grateful for my time. And that's also another goal that this year that I want to do is like have another solo trip.
Mhm.
Uh, my first one was back in I think 2023 or 24. I went to DC for the first time. Amazing, 5 days, 4 nights by myself.
Mhm.
Um, just experiencing the city. It was a really cool experience. And this year, I'm leaning towards Chicago for some reason.
Ooh.
Yeah, I experienced the Windy City uh,
Yeah.
for my birthday this year. Yeah,
That's in September, right?
there you go. Yeah,
It's like I can't remember the exact day, but
yeah,
it's been a long time, but I do remember it's in September.
yeah. So again, like, why not?
Yeah.
So
Life is short. Experience what you want to experience while you can.
absolutely, absolutely. Is there any goals that you're striving for this year?
Make it out alive.
As everybody.
That's yeah. No. Really, my biggest goal is working on mental health. Like it literally is perfect that that was the topic that you chose to talk to me about because like yeah, that is my biggest goal, especially having learned like that what I've been doing is not working and everything. So I just want to get better. I want to be able to get better so that I can be the best mom that I can be, the best wife that I can be. Um, Sorry, I keep looking over because my dog is on my bed and he keeps moving.
Mhm.
He's been so still this whole time that I forgot he was there, and now all of a sudden he's like, "Let's move."
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that is my biggest goal for the year, and try and teach my son how to swim, and just do as much with him while I can. You know,
Yeah, I can't swim either, so
really?
wow. Like my feet have to touch the ground. I'm sorry.
Nah, I feel that. Like, I I can't tread water. Like I can swim, but I have to be in a pool where I can like stand up afterwards. Like I can't like swimming in the lake or in the ocean things because like my parents live on a lake in Dudley,
Okay.
and I have to stay in the shallow. Like I can't go too far out because it's like right the max of it is as tall as I am, so it's
Yeah.
not super deep, but like just deep enough that I still have to tread and can't do it. So so yeah.
You'll get there. I hope.
Oh yeah.
I hope.
Let's add that to the goal list. Let's get me to a point where I can tread water.
Definitely. I have like these last rapid fire questions for you if you're
Go for it.
down.
Yeah.
Uh, what is something people assume about you that isn't true?
Oh God. Honestly, that I'm smart, that I'm a know-it-all. Like I'm a very open book, and so there's not really much that I don't tell people about like my life, depending on the person, of course. But
Yeah.
like, I went to college. I have a degree in psychology. Like I'm a smart kid. I was always the smart kid. I'm not. I'm really not. It's all looks can be deceiving.
Yeah. Dang. Uh, I would debate that. You've always been pretty smart
Mm,
to
it was
me.
because I was gonna say, in high school and like middle school, there was structure, and so I thrived,
Mm,
and I did pretty decent. And then I got into the real world, and all that structure flew out the window, and it's like, nope, no. That's the
yeah.
most serious, unserious answer that I could give you.
Yeah. Speaking of, this is random, but like, I don't know about you, but like, I was pretty disappointed. Like, we didn't do anything last year for our 10 year.
Same, same.
I was, for me, out of all people, like, I was actually looking forward to seeing everybody in their new
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's married, kids, they're all
Yeah.
kids, and
And we've lost so many that I felt like it would have been a really good opportunity to remember them.
yeah,
And so yeah, no, I agree. Like it sucked that we didn't do anything. Like, there were plans started, but nothing ever executed.
yeah. I created a whole page and everything.
Yep.
Okay. Uh, Interesting. But yeah, if you could tell your younger self one thing about mental health, what would it be?
Don't be scared.
Hmm.
Don't be scared. Like you aren't a burden. You aren't. It's not embarrassing. Like, do not be scared, because then you will go on a path that you will never be able to. Here's my dog. That you'll never be able to get off of.
Yeah. True. How how do you protect your peace in such a stressful world?
Always remember to log off. You know, take some time where you're not scrolling. I have a habit of doom scrolling. Um, don't do it. Try and take time to log off, um, and be present in the good that you have in your life. So like I have a bad habit of I will doom scroll, and while my son is playing, he'll be doing self play, and it's like, get off, stop looking at the really intense, horrible things that are happening, um, and go play with him. Like, don't like try and focus on the here and now in front of you, and not everything as a whole.
I love that.
Mm.
And lastly, like what's a message that you would want to leave someone who is currently listening or is going to listen that's possibly going through a tough season in their life at the current moment?
Don't be afraid to reach out.
Hmm.
You know, everyone has someone, and if you don't have anyone, contact a therapist. Um, Hell, contact me. Find me, Ivy Davis, on all of my socials. I don't have my socials memorized, but like find 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 someone, and don't be afraid to talk about it, because being lonely sucks, and
Yeah,
you will convince yourself that the world does not need your light, and it does. It does. Um,
is he good?
he's battling an ear infection right now, and so he is constantly shaking his head. But yeah, he's good. But
Sure.
yeah, that's that.
That's amazing. um Man, how you feel about today's episode?
Emotional.
Yeah,
Um,
learn some things.
yeah, I'm glad to have learned them. I'm like, obviously it sucks that that's something that we both experienced, but
Mm.
I feel closer to you having known that we have um a shared darkness. And um no, I feel like conversations like this need to happen more. You know, like, it's good to be able to talk about feelings and past traumas and experiences like this. Like, it needs to be talked about. So I'm glad that you chose me to talk about it with.
Yeah, so I'll say, what's today? Sunday. So
Mhm.
maybe Thursday, Friday. Like I actually missed having people on. So I've been doing solo videos for a while.
Yeah.
I just had a moment where I was just like writing names down Like, oh, I think this person would be great. Oh, I think this person would be good. And I was like, oh, let me go back in my bag and see previous people. And you were one of the top names. So
Oh,
shot my
I'm
shot.
honored.
Let's do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. I always enjoy getting to talk to you. So,
Yeah.
like, I literally every time that because I bring you up quite often, like out of all the friends that I had in high school, you're one of the ones that I bring up a lot. Um, and I always talk about how you were a friend that I had that I never, like, yeah, we're talking now, but like, we never really had to talk, if that makes sense. Like, I have this memory of after we graduated high school, that freshman year of college, we met up at the Starbucks on Wayne Memorial, and we
Mm,
literally just sat
yeah.
there. Like, I think we maybe spoke like 20 words to each other the whole time we were there, but we just sat together and existed. And that just was always, that always like resonated with me. Like, we might have spoken a little bit more than that, but like, I just remember it being quiet, but not in an awkward, like negative, bad way, just in a way that I was like, I'm at peace with this person and I can be in peace with them. Like, you know, it was just good. And I bring that up a lot.
You know what? I actually forgot about that. That we yeah.
Mm,
But yeah, so like for me, like graduating high school was a time. It's like even going into that fall, uh, like I did not know what was next for me.
mm-hmm.
I skipped the entire school year, trying to figure out like what's next,
Right.
and definitely had moments where like I felt like everyone forgot about me. Like everybody's in school, everybody's doing
Yeah.
this, everybody's doing that, and meeting new people, and I'm just sitting in the house letting life pass.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you were one of the very few that stepped through. So
Yeah. And I need to apologize for not always reaching out and like being there. Cause like I mean, like you said, like life happens. You know, I was in the throes of degree and figuring out the rest of my life. And I didn't mean to like stop that, you know?
yeah,
But I am very thankful that I had that time and that we are talking more. You know, we've now been on the podcast twice, seen you out and about twice. Maybe we can like get coffee and you can we can reminisce on things again. But because I do want to be able to like with the 10-year anniversary and us missing it and everything, there were friends that I was like, I would really like to rekindle those friendships because they meant a lot to me, and you were one of those that I was like, I didn't want to ever lose that friendship or like step away from that, but life, does life things. um so yeah.
well, I don't drink coffee as much as I used to, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always down for a lunch or dinner.
Yeah.
With the job that I have now, I'm mostly off on weekends, so
Okay.
um, yeah, just let me know.
Yeah. I told Elijah that you'd teach him all about basketball.
Basketball or wrestling?
I told him both.
Okay, cool.
Because I do remember in high school you were like big on basketball. There was a specific team, right? Or am I
Chicago,
thinking of the wrong sport?
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I was like, he'll teach you all about basketball and he'll teach you about wrestling. And he was like, yeah, that's so fun. And I was like, yeah, it will be. It will be. So,
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have a favorite moment with us in school? Or moments? Because on top of my head, for me, I remember. So I remember us meeting in the what was it? Vocal music, right?
That was what I was gonna say. Like, just there was a moment that you sang, and I was just like, hee hee, I like this guy because you didn't ever do it. It were like you did, but it was like always very quiet, and because you were always very reserved. And but continue yours. But yeah,
Yeah. So like we were in vocal music, and for some reason, I think it was actually end of the class period, and we were just walking um, to our next destination,
mm,
and I either dared you or told you to sing something for me, and you did, and I remember that,
I
and
remember that.
yeah,
I have this really bad thing where like a lot of my life is locked away, and it has to be like if someone has to say the right thing for me to like
mhm,
remember.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I remember that, and I do. It's very vague, but I do remember being in class and you did something, and it was so unlike you, but like you at the same time. Where like you sang something or you did something, and it only a select few were around you. Like it wasn't like for the class,
mm,
and I don't I see it, but I can't like you know that. And that was the moment that I was like, I'm this guy is close to me. This is one of my really close friends because I'm experiencing this moment. Uh,
yeah,
but then yeah, the moment at Starbucks, like because that really did just resonate. Like that was the moment that I was like, I have found a peaceful person. Like I said, like that I can coexist peacefully with. But yeah.
fun times.
Mhm.
Um, I feel it was a blur for me. But I definitely remember, certain moments, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, man, this was good, refreshing.
Yeah.
Um, I've always I enjoyed every episode. You know what I mean? This one was really good.
Good.
Really good, man, episode 22. Um, Going beneath the surface with surely, where we unpacking the unseen one conversation at a time. Make you guys like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel for more content. You don't remember your socials, but yeah,
Mhm.
just follow her uh, on social media. More
Yeah.
so Instagram, right?
Instagram, and I have a TikTok. That one should be like author Ivy Davis or something because I oh look my Instagram was the last thing that's pulled up on my phone. Davis underscore Ivy 26 on Instagram
Mm,
and um oh shit uh author dot ivy dot Davis on TikTok. I
yeah,
don't really post much of anything, but I'm chronically online, so I will reach out if someone reaches out to me.
for sure. And she's not lying. So like one of the very consistent people that likes my stuff on TikTok is yours truly right here.
Yeah.
True supporter. So even when I think people don't, you know, care about my stuff, you know, there's always that reassuring
Every
person. So,
every time a video pops up, I'm like, I'm watching it. And I watch it and I like it.
do
Cause
you
yeah,
know what I'm talking about? As far as
sometimes.
wrestling wise?
Sometimes. I mean, I haven't like I watched it growing up, and so I know some of like the older people. I'm not super familiar with a lot of the newer people, But there are times when I'm like, I know who you're talking about. I actually understand this one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's cool, man. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
yeah, we'll stay in touch.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would
But
love that.
I'm sorry.
I said I would love that.
For sure. Yeah. So like, man, until the next episode, 23. Yes, sir.